The company that has burned through the equivalent of 3,200 trillion rupees without ever turning a profit has quietly deleted the rules prohibiting its technology for military use and immediately signed a secret contract with the Pentagon. Because on the other side, China, with its DeepSeek, has proven it can build AI 100 times cheaper than OpenAI and is now dominating 89% of China's AI market while aggressively pushing into Southeast Asia through a free open-source strategy. And what's even more surprising, Sam Altman himself has admitted he doesn't yet know how to control the superintelligence they are developing, but is pressing forward anyway. So in the middle of this AI war that will determine who rules the world, what will Southeast Asian nations without their own AI become? Consumers forever? Or digital slaves of more advanced nations? Everything will be covered in this video, so stay with us until the end. There is no sane business on the face of this earth without burning through $3,200 trillion without turning a profit. The legendary Uber only burned $18 billion before finally becoming profitable. Tesla, $9 billion. Netflix, $11 billion. Numbers like those already gave investors cold sweats. But OpenAI, they have burned through $200 billion, and investors keep injecting funds, from $3.5 million in 2020 surging to $110 billion in a single funding round in 2025. Their valuation now stands at $340 billion, and they are still losing money. Stop for a moment. Think carefully. No sane business logic can explain this. None whatsoever, unless the agenda behind it is far larger than just a business. And this is what genuinely fascinates me. 910 million active users. 1 in every 8 human beings on this planet uses an OpenAI product every week. That is larger than the combined populations of Europe and America. Whoever owns a platform that large holds a kind of power that has never existed in human history before. But here's the question nobody dares to ask. Who is actually behind the $200 billion in funding? A theory circulating among independent analysts suggests this is not a standard business investment. This is a state strategic project disguised as a private startup. Why do Microsoft, Nvidia, and Oracle keep injecting funds into a company that keeps losing money? Because if OpenAI falls, they all fall with it. This is not a normal business. It is an intentionally engineered trap. Sam Altman has created a circular economy that is as genius as it is alarming. Nvidia invests in OpenAI. OpenAI buys Nvidia chips. Microsoft invests. OpenAI rents Microsoft Cloud. Oracle enters. OpenAI uses Oracle infrastructure. All interconnected, all mutually dependent. The result? Not a single party can exit without destroying itself. This is exactly like a nuclear weapons treaty. Every party holds a trigger. Nobody dares fire first. No sane business burns $3,200 trillion without turning a profit, unless the agenda is far larger than just business. What is actually being built here? If you thought OpenAI was just a standard technology company focused on building good products for consumers, I need to tell you something that will permanently change how you see this. 28th February 2026, the same day America and Israel launched Operation Epic Fury against Iran. On that same day, Sam Altman quietly announced something with far greater long-term consequences than any military strike. OpenAI signed a secret contract with the Pentagon, America's Department of War, to deploy their AI directly within America's classified military networks. Not an ordinary contract. This is a contract for intelligence synthesis, decision support, and, most alarmingly,
autonomous weapons systems. How did this happen? Because just before this, Anthropic, the makers of Claude and OpenAI's biggest rival, had rejected a similar military contract on ethical grounds. Anthropic CEO Dario Amodei publicly expressed objections to using AI for mass surveillance and autonomous weapons systems without human authorization. The Pentagon immediately canceled its $200 million contract with Anthropic, then turned to OpenAI, which was willing to fill that void. And here's the most alarming part. OpenAI's head of robotics, Caitlin Kalinowski, resigned immediately after the announcement. She wrote on LinkedIn, "Surveillance of Americans without judicial oversight and lethal autonomy without human authorization are lines that deserved more deliberation than they got." Someone from the inside the company itself walked out because they disagreed. But what makes this an even deeper story? Pentagon testing revealed that ChatGPT is actually technically inferior to Claude for military applications. They knew OpenAI's product was weaker, yet they still chose OpenAI. Why? Because this isn't about the quality of the technology. It's about who is willing to comply without asking too many questions. And the question you need to consider: every time you type a question into ChatGPT, are you aware that your data now has a connection to America's secret military contracts? Who is actually reading your conversations?
20 January 2025, the same day Trump was inaugurated for his second term. On that same day, a Chinese AI company that almost nobody had heard of before released an AI model that shocked the entire world. Its name, DeepSeek. And within 7 days, DeepSeek R1 overtook ChatGPT as the most downloaded application on the American App Store, in America, its adversary's own country. NVIDIA lost $600 billion in valuation in a single day, one day. That is larger than the GDP of many nations in the world. What genuinely panicked Washington? DeepSeek appeared too suddenly, too sophisticated, too cheap. The White House immediately accused foreign entities, pointedly directed at China, of conducting a large-scale effort to extract knowledge from American AI models. In other words, they accused DeepSeek of draining technology from ChatGPT. But if that's true, it means America accidentally trained its own greatest competitor. And if it's false, it means China has independently achieved AI innovation on par with America at 1/10 the cost. Both possibilities are equally alarming for America. Sam Altman himself has admitted he doesn't yet know how to control the superintelligence they are developing. OpenAI's internal safety team was disbanded last year, meaning both America and China are racing to build a weapon that even its creators don't know how to stop. If the creators of AI don't know how to control the technology they are building and are pressing forward anyway, isn't that the most precise definition of recklessness we have?
Now we get to the part that most directly touches your lives in Southeast Asia. Because this AI war isn't just drama between America and China happening far away. It has already entered our region, and its impact is far more real than most people realize. Think about this. What AI are you using right now? ChatGPT? DeepSeek? Whether you realize it or not, your choice of AI is now a geopolitical choice. If you use ChatGPT, your data goes to a company with a Pentagon contract. If you use DeepSeek, your data goes to a company subject to Chinese data laws that allow the Chinese government to access data whenever they choose. There is no neutral option. None. America has a clear strategy: control AI distribution through OpenAI and Google, restrict access to NVIDIA chips for nations that grow too close to China, and use AI governance frameworks to indirectly limit the spread of Chinese AI in our region. China has a different but equally effective strategy: offer DeepSeek free and open source to developing nations, integrate Chinese AI into Belt and Road infrastructure, and create digital dependency before those nations realize they are already trapped. DeepSeek's accessibility makes Chinese AI highly attractive to Southeast Asian nations that have never been able to afford American AI. And once that digital dependency is formed, it is extremely difficult to break. One geopolitical analyst stated it plainly: China can export DeepSeek-based AI models to ASEAN nations at a fraction of the cost of American competitors, creating digital dependency and reinforcing Beijing's technological dominance across Southeast Asia. Is our region unknowingly walking into a digital trap similar to the Belt and Road debt trap?
So, what should Southeast Asia do in the face of all this? First, we need to be honest about where we stand right now. AI is projected to replace 85 million jobs worldwide within the next 5 years. Southeast Asian nations with manufacturing and service-based economies are the most vulnerable. Factories that currently run on human labor within 10 years will run on AI-controlled robots. Call centers, customer service, translators, data analysts, all potentially replaceable. And the most alarming reality, nations without their own AI don't just lose jobs, they lose sovereignty. Think about this. Whoever controls AI controls the economy. Control the economy, control the military. Control the military, control information. Control information, control the minds of billions of people. This is not science fiction. This is already happening right now. And the final and most concerning theory: AI is not merely a productivity tool, it is the largest control system ever created. If OpenAI is already connected to the Pentagon, then every nation using ChatGPT has indirectly permitted America access to its digital data. If DeepSeek dominates, then China holds a window into the digital lives of our entire region. But there is a third path that hasn't been widely discussed. ASEAN has a population of 680 million, has an extraordinary volume of data, has a technology talent base that continues to grow. The question isn't whether we are capable, but whether we have the political will to invest in our own AI before it's too late. In this era of AI warfare, what will nations without their own technology become? Consumers or digital slaves of more advanced nations? Do you think Southeast Asia still has time to close this gap? Write your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to understand more deeply how the America-China geopolitical war is determining the fate of our region, watch my previous video on Trump having to ask China for help. Link in the description. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and see you in the next video. See you